Hello on this Tuesday, November the 5th. I've got some laundry going, so I got some time, and we're going to see how this goes, because today is the first day of the VHS collection. I was able to, still going through the horror movies, and some of these will be repeats. A lot of them probably will be, maybe half of them will be. So I don't know for sure, because these are bigger than, hello Minx. These are bigger, they're bigger than Minx. No, they're not. Because, a DVD is a little slight thing, and then, like, the VHS is, like, 2 DVDs in one. So, this might go really quick. I don't know. It might go slower. I mean, I blab on and on for, for no reason a lot of times anyway. So maybe that'll make it a little bit easier. I might do a box a day. I might do half a box a day. It just kind of depends on, what we got going on. But today we have this pile and Minxie's ear right there. So this is our pile of VHS movies for today. So I don't know if this is a bigger pile or a smaller pile or a Gomer pile. I'm not really sure. But we will go for it. And this one's kind of dusty. And see, I told you there was a different Playroom. And I guess I should have realized that I had it. And that's why this is not the goofy thing with the joke about the tea set. This is a completely different Playroom, which is a little bit more serious of a... and some of these were kind of hard to tell for me. Like, I have a Faust over there. That I got, that it was more of a fantasy kind of movie. I don't necessarily remember it being a horror movie. I remember it being more of a fantasy movie, so some of these might be a little bit controversial picks, I guess. But I went ahead and grabbed everything that looked like it might have been kind of horror-ish. This Playroom, right here, someone or something has been waiting for archaeologist Chris Hayden for a long, long time. Along with his girlfriend, Jenny, Chris heads an expedition to the monastery where his family was murdered 20 years earlier. He thinks he's come back to complete his father's research for the tomb of a medieval boy prince, but other forces are at work, supernatural forces that will plunge Chris, his staff, and an intruder into the deadly confines of a macabre playroom. Age-old myth and newfound terror merge as one when Chris discovers that the playroom is more than a tomb. It's a torture chamber where, as a child, he unwittingly played with the demonic spirit of the young prince. Now his friend wants him to stay and play again, but are the others doomed to be their playthings? The answer lies in a strange hold of suspense that grabs on and doesn't let go. I'm pretty sure I watched this one, once again, because I kind of maybe, once again, I think it's kind of one of those where maybe I remember the end of it, sort of, or them being in, like, the cave, or maybe the playroom itself. But again, I can't necessarily tell you if it was enjoyable or not. But I'm pretty sure I did watch this one. But this is, like I said, this is a completely different Playroom than the one that I was introducing you to the other day. So, don't expect laughs a second, laughs a minute, laughs a second, laughs a whatever. I was looking where to set this down. I don't know. Just don't knock that over, Minx. I've done this horribly, horribly wrong. This was one that I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up or not. Making Contact. Only he can see it, only he shares its magic, only he knows the danger. This sounded like it might be, it's an out-of-this-world adventure. Once again, this one sounded maybe like it was more fantasy, but it does, the description of it, strange and miraculous things have been happening in little Joey's neighborhood since his father's death. Things that 9-year-old Joey can't explain. Good things, bad things. Things that are much larger than Joey. Toys have sprung to life in his toy chest. He has been given telekinetic powers. He has been filled with love by the spirit in his glowing red telephone, and filled with terror by the evil talking dummy Fletcher. But when his mother, house, and schoolmates are threatened by demons from another dimension, Joey is propelled into a frightening battle between the forces of good and evil, a battle that will propel Joey through a magical door and beyond, making contact, a spellbinding journey to the other side. So, I don't... there again, it could be like a kid's movie. It could be a fantasy movie. There's the... I'm assuming that's Fletcher, the evil doll thingy. Evil dummy thingy. So this could be not a horror movie at all. But it had demons in it, and he goes to the other side, and I don't know. So I went ahead and added it to this collection anyway, just in case. But I can't say for sure. This is one, the Manukau, the Manitow. I looked this one. I came across this one online somewhere, in the grisly tradition of Alien. I don't know if I saw the trailer or somebody talked about it, if it was in a review or in a list of crazy weird horror movies or something. I don't know. Evil does not die. It waits to be reborn. Tony Curtis and Susan Strasberg star in this mind-chilling thriller of supernatural terror. Strasberg enters a San Francisco hospital suffering from a rapidly growing tumor in her neck. To their horror, the doctors discover that it is no ordinary tumor. It contains a living creature from the dark past. Only the teamwork of medical experts, a psychic, and a modern-day medicine man can save them from the hellish nightmare that follows. Amazing special effects, stunning visuals, and an excellent cast including Stella Stevens, John Cedar, Ann Southern, Burgess Meredith, and Michael Ansara make The Manukau a horrific must-see. Somebody mentioned this movie, and that's why I got it, and I feel like I watched it, and I feel like it was entertaining, at least, to say the least. I don't know. But so I feel safe saying this one is worth a watch. The Manukau, if you can find it, Manitou. I don't know. That could it be the? It did say Indian, right? Did it say a medicine man? I think there's an Indian in this, maybe. But it's got, is it ice? I think everything's iced over maybe in that picture. I don't know. I think all the action happens in the hospital. I don't know. Like I said, I came across this online somewhere. I don't know if maybe it was in one of my friends' videos where they were like, oh yeah, this one's a good movie, check it out, or whatever. And that's why I ended up buying it. This one I just happened to come across in a flea market somewhere. Crazed. And it's one of these old movies, but, oh wait, you may have powers untold, but beware, the devil now has hold. That's what it says there on the thingy. This was kind of one of those, because, I mean, that's what I didn't mention before, is about why I keep a VHS player, is because, like, how many movies have never even made it to DVD? You know, some of these old movies, like, has Crazed been put on DVD yet? I don't know. And what if it's a really good movie? I mean, look at that guy. He's kind of creeps, right? You know, so it's kind of like, if I don't have a VHS player, like, how am I going to, you know, if I want to see this, or if I want to have a copy of this, you know, like how many movies just get lost to time because, you know, people don't necessarily continue to, you know, like, oh, 4K, whatever, blah, 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 which is nice. Don't get me wrong. My friend Mike showed me a scene from Aquaman on a regular Blu-ray blah 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 player, and then he showed me it on a 4K player, and I have to admit it did look a lot crisper, it did look a lot nicer, it did look a lot sweeter. But there's something to these older, you know, movies that it's just kind of like, you know, you put it in and like the tracking has to, you know, go and fix your movie for you if you're lucky, or you have to push the button up or down to get it to go. I don't know, there's just something about these old movies. Sometimes if they get like too fancy, it kind of like takes away some of the spirit of them, so to speak, because I guess they're supposed to be, you're supposed to watch them in kind of shitty quality, some of these old movies, it's just fun to watch them. And then, like I said, how many movies get lost to time because they don't make that transition to DVD, much less Blu-ray or 4K. I have no idea if this is on DVD or not. No idea. So anyway, that's just my little soapbox, my little VHS soapbox, and why I will always have a VHS player. There was nothing really before VHS, was there? Was there? I don't know. There's a laser disc, but there's a lot of, basically every movie on laser disc is on VHS, at least, I think. But anyway, you may have powers, untold, but beware, the devil now has hold. Jack Palance in this is the overlord of a witches' coven that worships a god named Chuko, whose powers are believed to emanate from a statue of his likeness. To those who prove their belief in him by offering humans for sacrifice, Chuko, I like Chuko, even though it says, that's how you, right there. Chuko, it's probably Chuko, but I like Chuko. Chuko brings wealth and sexual powers. To those who disbelieve, he brings death and destruction. When the bloody trail of sacrifices is picked up by the police, Neil, Jack Palance, seeks to protect himself by enhancing Chuko's powers with still more sacrifices. So, I haven't watched this. It's still in its little clammy case. It came from Video Palace here in Warrensburg. Okay. Apparently, I don't think that I bought this. I don't think I bought this here. I don't know. Maybe I bought it at one of those places in Knobnoster. Maybe that's where I found this. I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, I just saw it and thought, I just kind of picked it up. I thought it's maybe, one of those, where else am I going to find this kind of horror movie kind of thing, and I don't have to find it, because now I have it. So, not that I can tell you if it's any good or anything like that, or entertaining, because I have not watched it. Much like anything else. This might be somewhat of a controversial pick, but I feel like there's some horror in with the comedy, because I feel like this might be more of on the comedy side. I don't think it goes as far as, maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't watched these movies in a long time, and I feel like I have the first one around here somewhere. This is the sequel, I'm pretty sure. Saturday the 14th Strikes Back. There's actually a Saturday the 14th. I believe it's just titled Saturday the 14th instead of, Friday the 13th, then you have Saturday the 14th. So this might be more on in the vein of scary movie. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what the House, not the one with Hugh Laurie as an asshole doctor, but just I think, did they make 3 of those House movies, maybe? Those were kind of somewhat horror, but also kind of comedic, if I remember correctly. And these Saturday the 14th, they might be more in the vein of scary movie, with Anna, what's her name? Not Anna Paquin. That's the only Anna I have in my head at the moment. She's the one on Mom now. Anna Faris. At least in a few, the first 3. I don't know. She's in quite a few of them. But Eddie Baxter is a normal, average teenager with a normal, well, almost, average family. But when the Baxter family moves into a house left to them by a departed uncle, things become decidedly weird. First, Gramps tells the family that he's been talking to his good friend Leonard. Unfortunately, Leonard's dead. Then Eddie wakes up in the middle of the night to find Dad sculpting the Statue of Liberty out of chocolate pudding. Eddie soon discovers that his family's bizarre behavior is linked to a strange mist rising from the crack in the basement. In attempting to solve the mystery, he encounters a singing vampire, a beautiful Egyptian princess, and some of the most famous ghouls in movie history. Ultimately, Eddie must fight the evil one himself in a battle across time, space, and beyond. Not bad for a kid who's in high school. Saturday the 14th Strikes Back irreverently lampoons classic horror movies, past and present, while delivering laughs and chills along the way. So I wanted to include this, just in case it was more of a horror movie than a comedy movie. Because, I mean, somewhere around here I do have the scary movies, but they're definitely on the comedy side. And this might be too, I don't know for sure, because like I said, I don't feel like I ever watched these. I might have watched the first one, maybe, but I don't think I ever actually saw this, the second one. So, anyway, like I said, I wanted to include it just in case. So, and now, as we were saying, as I was saying, there's going to be a lot of repeats in here, and very dusty. I have the first 3 Scream movies here on VHS. I don't think they're anything fancy. It's just the Scream movies, the Scream 2 movie, and the Scream 3 movie. This is the exclusive all-new bonus edition, apparently. I don't know, includes hilarious outtakes Creed music video, because people were clamoring for that sort of thing, apparently. Behind the scenes from all 3 Scream movies. So you got behind the scenes. I think this might have came out late enough that people were making the transition to DVD a little bit more, so they had to bulk up the VHS to be like, hey, keep buying this, buy this too. But then, it's out the window. Actually, I'm kind of surprised, we still sell DVDs because everybody hasn't made the full transition yet to Blu-rays. But I guess now, we still sell CDs. It's a very small section. And we've actually started selling, records again for some reason, because that's apparently a popular thing now. It's not just for hipsters anymore. Like, everybody's have a section of records and record players and blah blah blah. So I mean, this is a college town, so I guess you've got all kinds here, whatever. But this is the ultimate Scream. I don't necessarily know that I felt that was true, but yeah, you've already heard me talk about Scream on the DVD version. Though I was thinking about it the other day, doing this I'm supposed to post a picture on Facebook every day of a movie that inspired me or whatever, or had a big impact on me or whatever, and I keep forgetting to do it, Hobbs. I'm sorry. I think I managed to get through 5 movies, maybe 6. I don't know. But like, Scream was the first time that, because I'd seen Puppet Master and whatever. I mean, I'd watched some kind of stuff. I used to kind of be scared as a kid of, like, I remember the fucking Tales from the Dark Side, when that shit came on, that creepy ass fucking intro and the music and everything, like, that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, no, there's a local car dealer that his face would, or it was like an outline of his face, kind of like Alfred Hitchcock used to do for his show, but it was an outline of Ray, God, what is his name? I don't know. But yeah, when that sketch of his face came up, I knew to change the channel, because that creepy ass fucking Tales from the Dark Side bullshit was about to start. And I watched the Child's Play movie with my uncle, because that's, he was watching us for the night. And I mean, I feel like horror was kind of a thing for us anyway. I mean, I have my whole video about, the few and far between paranormal experiences I had as a child in the house that I grew up in. So, I mean, I guess I kind of always felt like that kind of stuff was around. Not that, I mean, I'm still terrified of it. My friends who lived in Jefferson City, they were like, oh yeah, we have a lady in black that, like, walks across our kitchen and whispers our name in our ear in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, fuck that. Some people would go stay there. I guess I don't mind being there with other people. Like, we've been to the Elms, and, we've done the Crescent Moon Hotel thing. Mom and I did the ghost tour. We didn't stay there. We're talking about going to the McIntyre Mansion, the McIntyre Villa, sorry, in Atchison, Kansas, next spring. That's a thing that my friend Cynthia, she's been in a few of my videos. She's the one that went to teach in Japan for quite a few years. She's back stateside now and has been for a while. Time passes, I don't know. So I mean, before I get too far off track and don't know how to get back, I mean, horror, I guess, was kind of something that always revolved around my life a little bit. But the Scream was the first time that, the Scream series was the first time that, like, I kind of felt a part of the horror community, because I was old enough, I wasn't watching them as a scared kid, and everybody was just as excited for them as I was, because, I'd seen the Puppet Master movies, I'd been watching those, but, you go to they're not in a theater, they're not with other people, and, I mean, unless you ask, because this was before the internet, kiddies, okay? There was a time where you didn't know that there were other people out there like you, because you couldn't connect to them on the internet. So it's like like, I always felt like Puppet Master was some kind of secret society kind of thing or something. I don't know. Like, nobody I knew, I mean, I never even thought to mention it to anybody because I didn't think anybody knew about it, But Scream definitely, like, it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. All my classmates, everyone was going to see it. So, it was kind of the first thing, it wasn't me, going to the video store and, grabbing one off the shelf and watching it at home, by myself, or with my family or whatever, like, I mean, I guess they always maybe watched it with me, I don't know. So Scream was like the first, like, loud, out and proud horror movie moment, horror fan moment, I guess, for me. I don't think I saw the first one in the theater. I don't think I saw the second one in the theater, I think. Did I see the first one in the theater? I don't know. I think I may have watched it at home too, but still, at least I knew other people were out there and other people were into this, whole, scary horror movie thing. So that was a little retrospective, I guess, of, so that's why Scream holds a special place in my heart. Even though I'm a bigger fan of Urban Legend, but we'll eventually get to that, because I have it on VHS, so I'm surprised I don't have a DVD of it, or Blu-ray. It had to have been on Blu-ray, or it had to be at least on DVD. Why don't I have the Urban Legend DVD? I might be missing some. There might be some more DVDs around here. Though over time, I've had people borrow movies and never get them back, or I've had to take some to the pawn shop or to Hastings when we had Hastings. I'm like, well, I'm gonna remember to buy this movie again, just to kind of get some extra cash or whatever. So I mean, maybe that's where it disappeared to. If I had it, I feel like it did. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? But anyway, so that's why Scream is kind of one of those special things for me. It was like, and old enough. I was old enough to watch it and be not terribly scared, And I was watching it with everyone else and felt a part of something, for the first time with that whole thing. So anyway, that's the whole Scream thing, yada yada yada. And another movie that I think, maybe not. I was trying to decide if I like this movie more than I like Scream, but I definitely like this movie. This is a fun, suspenseful, entertaining movie. The Faculty. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. Of the time period. This has Famke Janssen in it too. She doesn't play a bitch in this one. Well. Spoilers. This is, high school. It starts getting, it's kind of like Invasion of the Pod People, kind of, for a new generation. Well, I say a new generation of the 90s, whatever. But because these aliens come down and, or maybe the aliens come down and, it's like, you know, they're trying to figure out if it's just really a thing, and then of course, you know, they find that it really is a thing, and then they're trying to battle these, and like who's an alien and who's not an alien, and you know, blah 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 blah, because people start acting very weird. Sometimes they're not a bitch. Sometimes they're just a, you know, mousy librarian slash teacher kind of character. But then once they're taken over by the alien, maybe or not, then they turn into like a sex kitten, bitch mitten. That was weird. Why did I say that? I don't know. But so this is definitely an this is definitely a fun, entertaining, suspenseful action, you know, horror, thriller, suspense kind of movie, and I loved it, and I would definitely say this is worth watching. Yes, because I loved this one, The Faculty. I go from that to what the fuck is Witch Trap? I don't know, but it's our last video that I have over here in my pile, and that's good because I blah blah blahed on for long enough, haven't I? I don't know where I bought this. Once again, no clue. But I got it for $2 apparently. And at first I thought, I'm like, well, is this more of like a, you know, like a sci-fi movie? Because that's what a sci-fi slash fantasy, and that's kind of where I feel Faust lands on the spectrum. Charter spectrum. No, not that. Hello. Allow me to take you on a tour of Laughterhouse, not Slaughterhouse, Laughterhouse. See what you're doing. In the attic, we have a secret sacrificial altar where the former owner, Avery Lauder, was found dead. His heart brutally cut from his body. His restless spirit is rumored to still be wandering these halls. In the living room, we find a team of experts, among them witchboards James Quinn and Judy Tatum, assembled here at the request of Avery's sole heir and nephew, Devin Lauder, who have no inkling as to the dangers that are about to befall them as they attempt to trap the evil specter. And in the upstairs shower, we have the sexy Miss Ginger Kowalski, Linnea Quigley. And this is where all the chilling, frightful fun comes to a head. From Kevin Tenney, the writer and director of Witchboard, comes a supernatural cat and mouse horror show of deadly deception. So, that's interesting. Notice, this motion picture is not a sequel to Witchboard. They are very sure to tell you that. Witch Trap is not a sequel to Witchboard. So apparently, I think I've heard of Witchboard, and it's from the writer and director of Witchboard, so I guess that would be maybe where that confusion would come in. But they're very sure to tell you, hey, bitch, no, this is not a thing. So, this sounded like an entertaining, please rewind tape. It came from Crossroads, video, music, books, kind of thing. So, once again, haven't seen it, don't know, but I own it, and it's not a sequel to Witchboard. Just so you know. Just so you know. Okay, well, there is the first set, and I feel like maybe that was a good, you know, few movies. So maybe that's how many I'll try to get at a time. Excuse me. Oh. I haven't napped yet today, and I actually stayed at work an hour late, helping Zone, so, and then I started doing laundry, so, I am also not a sequel to Witchboard, just so you know. I want to make it clear. Put a stamp on my face. Oh, Lord. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to make any more sense, but those are today's movies, and I will be back. We're on the VHS track now. Some of these movies are going to be similar, some of them are not. I found actually quite a few that are not similar, or not repeats, I guess, because I already covered them in my DVD thingamajigger, so... But anyway, that's today's VHS, and tomorrow I'll do more VHS, and I'm sure the day after that I'll do more VHS, and I will see you for what I see.